Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chris, aka Barn11970, and thank you always for checking out my video. I got a couple of things in my mind today. A couple of people have been talking about this subject, and it's something that I really want to put my 2 cents in because it seems that some people just do not see the bigger picture of things. Review Tech USA, which is a video game channel, talked about this. Stone Fox Media, I saw it on the other day, and I'm sure plenty of others have talked about this. And I will post a link to the description in the description box so you could see this is actually fact, where GameStop in Philadelphia, and I was told by other people that it's actually also has been in California for the past couple of years, but in Philadelphia, they've been basically asked to do this by the local police. Not required, it's not law or anything, but even if it is, it's still the principle of the thing and how we can fight against this peacefully. They are requiring anyone that wants to buy a used video game or do a trade, they are required to give their thumbprint. And the problem with this is, and this shows where, how easily governments all around the world can take control of people, of their liberties and freedoms, by basically implementing these things in places that seem like they're no big deal. Because after all, the majority of kids that are going to a GameStop are not going to be criminals, so they'll think of that, oh, I have nothing to hide thing, and they'll just allow this to happen. So the way you implement these things, and you start it out as a lower level of something where it doesn't seem to make a big deal. But make no mistake, these things are test runs. This is a way to get people used to their privacy being invaded. I mean, how many people are standing up in outrage that the NSA is watching this very video, listening to your very phone calls, reading your emails? This has already been a proven fact, and yet we're getting conditioned to just think, oh, it's okay, and oh, we should just not do anything about it. Well, here's how you stop something like GameStop from doing this. Now, I'm talking about this, like I've said, I subscribe to a couple of video game channels because I do that to relax every now and then, but this is bigger than video games. This is about governments trying to get people to comply to being basically proven guilty until you can convince them otherwise that you're innocent. And the whole nothing to hide thing is absolutely ridiculous, because where do you cross the line? I mean, should it get to a point where a policeman, they create a law where they can just randomly go to people's houses, just knock on the door, and when you answer, they barge their way in and say, well, we have to inspect your house to make sure you're not carrying any weapons of mass destruction? Well, if you have nothing to hide, should that be okay? Or what about if they decide to make sure that you have to have a video camera installed on your person and film everything that you do? Because we have to make sure we keep you safe, and if you have nothing to hide, you shouldn't worry about it. Shower cams, toilet cams. I mean, I'm sure some people will love that because there are some sick, perverted people out there, but I seriously doubt you want to have your children's privacy being shown. Now, I know that's extreme, but what level do we say enough is enough? Do we need to have checkpoints everywhere? Do we need to have the TSA at office buildings and in stores to make sure they frisk every single person? What it's doing is it's taking the criminal element and making everybody seem like they're criminals. And if you want to stop people like GameStop, this is what you do. You don't have to go and burn the place down. You don't have to go and shoot a GameStop employee. You don't want to do anything violent. You don't even have to take a picket sign and protest. Because like a famous person once said, let them march all they want as long as they pay their taxes. So if you're in front of a building and you're protesting, but yet people are still going in and buying the product, what do they care? Because that's free advertisement for them. Because the news people will put that on the mainstream media, the television, and then they will just promote them and they'll get free advertisement. So you can actually protest in the peaceful situation of your own home. And that's by not buying their products. I mean, look at it this way. Let's say you have let's say your wireless phone company, whatever it is. Let's just say it's your phone service is XYZ company. And they decide that starting tomorrow, every text is going to cost $1 a letter. Now, you can complain all you want, you can protest all you want, but if you keep that carrier and you pay that fee, well, you're justifying that it's okay, and they will continue to do it. And then some other company might come along and say, wait a minute, look at that company. They're actually charging $1 a letter for text, and people are actually paying it. Why don't we do that? And then it expands, and then they add more fees, and they add more things. So you want to stop? Well, if you're a part of XYZ company and you don't like the fact that they're about to charge you $1 per letter for your text, go to another service company. No longer give them your money. And guess what? They'll either go out of business or they will change that policy. So when I talk about things like peaceful protests, we don't have to go picketing through the streets. We don't have to go hurt somebody. We just don't have to give them their money. Our money, our hard-earned currency, our fiat currency, which really isn't even money. But again, it's all about the conditioning. Old habits die hard. So I know some people will say, oh, it's no big deal. It's just a video game store. But that's where it starts. And if other businesses see, wait a minute, they did this test run and they're thumbprinting everybody. What if they require that at supermarkets? What if they require that at your office? What if they require that when you want to start your car? Where does it stop? And don't think that can't happen, because that's how laws start. They make it convenient. I mean, if I would have talked about people getting microchipped 10 years ago, people would have said I was crazy. You know, the whole, oh, the tinfoil hat wearing thing. Well, there are people that actually use that technology at this point. Do we get to the point where our children have those things implanted in us? Because they'll always start it out as security. Oh, this will keep you safe. This will keep you, if you have medical problems and you get hit by a car and you're passed out and we can't contact you, all we have to do is scan your chip. They're always going to make it sound convenient. But make no mistake, there is a higher agenda. And if you can't get that and you think somebody like me is just being paranoid, then you've never researched history. And you need to wake up and stop being lazy. The average person is lazy, scared, and is nothing more than a follower. And they'll just keep complying. And that's how they get away with this stuff. And like even the police nowadays, they're not law-abiding anymore. They don't go by the law. They're more enforcers than anything else. They don't study law. They just do what they're told. And you know what? There are plenty of people in history that have murdered millions of people based on just doing what they were told. So where is enough is enough? Where do we draw the line? And the way to do it peacefully is by not giving away your hard-earned money and allowing something like that to happen. So anybody that says, oh, you need to march in front and protest GameStop, well, if you want to give them free advertisement that'll help them get more people, then yeah, that's exactly what you want to do, which is absolutely nothing, and you actually help them. Or you could stop buying from them, you could boycott them, and teach corporations the lesson that we, the people, have the power. Because all we have to do is not purchase a product, and they'll either change something that they did that you don't like, or they will end up going out of business. Either way, problem solved. But people have to stop sitting there complaining about, oh, I don't like this and this isn't fair and I don't like the way this is going, and then continue to participate in it or continue to allow it. That's why I voice my opinion. I want people to see that you can make a choice. You do have to make a stand. You have to stop being afraid. You have to stop being lazy, and you have to have your voice heard. And if that means not dipping into your wallet and taking out your credit card or your money to buy something from a company that maybe supports a terrorist group or maybe supports some illegal activities or does something like that's invasive like a thumbprint, because it never will just stop right there. It will continue to grow. They want to see how far they can push you. Do you like being pushed? Do you like it when they tell you to bend over? You do it willingly with a smile and thank them afterwards when they're finished doing what they're doing? It's all a choice. If you choose to do nothing, there's consequences. If you choose to do the wrong thing, like protest violently, well, that justifies the police and governments to be able to create more restrictive laws. They want people to be violent. Why do you think you see all these cops going around pepper spraying people and beating people at these protests and just sitting there stomping their chest with their batons? Because they want people to fight. Because then it allows them to beat the living daylights out of you because you're nothing more than their property if you know what's going on. And it justifies governments to create more restrictive laws. So until we learn not to play their game at their level, things are never going to change. Protesting doesn't work. Violent revolutions don't work. They may seem nice and sometimes even justifiable because it does build up your emotions, but they know how to work your emotions. You want to hit them hard? Don't give your credit card, or don't even have a credit card. I cut up my credit cards years ago. If I can't pay something in cash, I don't want it. They can't get me. Stop letting them get you. Be powerful. Show that people can make a difference. You just got to do it the right way, and they'll never teach you how to do that. So thanks for watching, guys, because I know this is more about video games. It's more about life. It's more about invasion of privacy. It's more about your freedoms and lack thereof. Because unless you think things are getting better, then we know where this is headed. They just don't do it right away. So this way you don't really notice it or pay attention. Time to wake up. Thanks for watching, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day, and see, even my cat appreciates it. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day.